Alright, welcome back to 60 Hotshot Adventures, and we are going to be working on weight loss program for this 05 LLY. We will be getting rid of the EGR. That is in the back. Okay, so we get rid of that, and then you can kind of see the oily residue right here. That's coming from, well, the EGR. So we're gonna so that obviously is gonna go away. Gotta take this off to get to what we need. This is your intake tube. Goes to this piece that then connects to a piece that goes into the Y bridge. As far as I know, it's been a while since I've worked on this thing. But yeah, so we're going to get into that. We're going to try and walk you through the steps I take to do this to the best of my ability. And just try and get the truck breathing a little bit better. I already did the S&B for the turbo inlet there. I haven't done the CCV reroute. Haven't really felt like doing it yet. And I know lots of people do the cat fuel filter. More than likely won't be doing that either. I have looked into it though. But let's get back on topic and start working on getting this thing apart. Okay, first step, no particular order. I'm going to remove the air hose, 5/16 clamp, 5/16 to get that clamp off. I just use a nut driver. Toss that out of the way. Next step will be, in my case, I'm going to cut the zip tie, free this up. I'm going to loosen up this clamp. And then, yeah, probably work on getting this, probably get this off first. Get that a little bit out of my way. Because the hardest, least fun part about this whole thing, I see the matting's falling down the back there, will be getting this out, these off, and then get a light. I gotta get those bolts there. You can basically see that's in focus down there. It's probably about 3 of them. You can see the billow. Let's see. You know this isn't gonna stay, but this. Let's see here. That part with the coil looking thing on it. That's I'm calling it the bellows. Get that off the back of this side of the manifold. That comes up. Comes up the back side. Then it comes into the EGR. And it also wires off somewhere. Not exactly sure where, but we'll find out together. And we'll get it off. Alright, we'll get the easy part off first. Okay, here we are. So, let's see if we can't get, here we go. These are 12 millimeter. And then these are 12 here. And then if you have the stock one, you'll have a little bit more room than I did. I just loosened this up so it can move. And that gave me enough space to get a 1/4 inch 12 millimeter down there with an extension. And then this one here, that's not obviously there right now, but that is a 12. The stud wasn't supposed to come out, but it did, whatever. This one here is a 13, at least mine was a 13 millimeter. So I have to get a bigger socket. And then after that, I got 11 millimeter ratchet, loosen the clamp, and then after that, just kind of move the wire, and then just wiggle it off. Probably gonna be easier with 2 hands. There we go. Anyway. Mine is clean because this isn't the first time I've had this apart. I did other work in the past. So I thoroughly cleaned it. So it's not terrible. But this is your... This goes right to this. Should be your intake. I don't think there's a good way to tell. But that goes down under this, and which under this, I don't think there's a good way to show you guys at this point. Probably show you a little easier. But there's a Y bridge right below the turbo mouthpiece that connects to. Anyways, like I said, I've had it apart, so everything is kind of clean. You know, that's why my EGR actually looks clean, because I spent a ton of time cleaning it. Anyway, so there's the old, I guess we'll call it the intake. Boost intake anyway, and then comparison to the new one. So you don't have all these turns, all this extra stuff going on. Just one nice smooth piece of pipe. So, I mean, size-wise, you're not really gaining anything other than you're just gaining smoother airflow versus, as you can kind of tell, it's kind of doing like a partial 90, then it's got a partial 90 going on there. I mean, the curves are just smoother, the air will move a lot smoother, and you won't be recirculating exhaust gas, hot exhaust gas at that. And your cooling system will eventually thank you as well, because this is a heater hose, and then the other one is behind here, right there. So that's what that one little piece of tube is. It's going to go from here, and it's going to route all the way back. It's going to go to there. So these little pieces will get out of there. Okay, moving on. We're going to get the EGR basically removed. The harder part. And will it throw a check engine light? More than, maybe, maybe not. If it does throw a check engine light after I'm done, I'm not worried about it. There is a device called a finger stick. Don't know why it's called that, but basically it's got a couple wires on it, and it taps into the harness, and then it taps into a couple little places. I'll have to figure that out if and when I do that. Probably more than likely I'm going to have to do that, my luck. And it pretty much just puts resistance on the electrical circuit and tricks the PCM, telling it, yeah, we have a functioning EGR valve controller. And then the check engine light goes away. In the meantime, because that's only like $100, and that's a lot cheaper for my budget right now than trying to go into like any number of tuners you can name off. Because right now I'm not throwing a tuner on it. Right now I'm just step by step in it here. We're gonna get this off first. So let's see what kind of struggles we got, and if I can figure if there's any tips or tricks I can pass along. So that's where we're at. Okay guys, update video here. We started this on a Tuesday. It is now Friday. It's just kind of how it goes. So yeah, so I got the 4 bolts out of the back there. I think I used 12 or 13. So the EGR is basically loose. You will lose coolant because you got your coolant line, so you will have coolant go everywhere unless you drain the radiator. I didn't. This pipe can be hard to get off. Most guys, you'll just take a razor, utility knife, and just cut it with, or something, and just cut it in the middle, because you're already going to be replacing it with a hose that's going to go from there to the heater core. So if you cut it, it doesn't make a difference. So that's that. So this is ready to come out. It's working on the up pipe from the manifold, which has been my struggle so far. I loosened up the bank clamp here. That's probably going to have to, more than likely going to have to remove that. Maybe. I got finally got the 3rd bolt out of this flange. had to use some heat. And if you don't have one of those, or you can't afford an oxyacetylene torch kit, you can go to like Lowe's or Home Depot and get something like this. A little oxygen tank with MAP gas. It more or less will give you the same outcome. So that'll help you out in a pinch if you don't want to get the big tank set up. I use that kit quite frequently also. Believe me, it will get hot enough. For sure. So just want to give you a quick update here. I'm going to go ahead and continue working on getting the shielding off the turbo and finish working on getting off the up pipe that comes up, comes into your EGR and goes to the back side of the turbo here. So we're going to get that all off so I can get that. It's probably like 3 bolts off the back of that. And then hopefully get this whole thing out and maybe get this done tonight. We'll see. Not necessarily any tips or tricks on this yet. It's kind of been a struggle. Then after I finish that, I'm going to do the yellow gas Magnum truck shocks, because I don't like the way the torsion key system rides on a Chevy. It's too soft for me. I've come from square body Chevys with leaf sprung front ends. I got a leaf sprung powerstroke 6.0, and I'm also gonna get I don't know if it's on this side, but the bump stop. I ordered the bump stop, so we're gonna get those in there. Get this all set up. I've got if I get it done tonight, which you guys will know here, I got a job already for it. If it doesn't get done tonight, I'm gonna have to run the powerstroke tomorrow. I got a couple trailers that got to get moved, and this is why I got to have multiple vehicles. They all got to be able to work. All right, getting back to work here. All right. Well, lots already done. I was just taking too much time jumping between videoing and everything, but had to unbolt the dipstick off where it's hooked up down there, where it keeps it solid. I think it's right on the back of the transfer case. The transmission. Got that loose out of the way so I could move, so that could be moved. The downpipe could be removed. So that gave me more space to then to get into the nuts. Then I could use a 1/2-inch stubby impact. Got all those bolts off. The kit that I got, not very well manufactured. I don't think you're going to be able to see much, but yeah, you see the shiny black there. So that's in there. Obviously comes up to the back where it bolts into the back there. Obviously there's a whole lot more space because, well, it's over there now. EGR is completely out. Got the coolant hose from the line right there. This wasn't made well either. We had to re-drill out the holes to get everything to line up. Same thing for there. Re-drilled those, so now everything lines up. It is slightly larger here, but got that on. So back together. Took a while, but quality wise it wasn't ideal, but for 250 bucks, what do you expect, right? So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll answer any questions or comments if any of you guys post anything.